Hello, my name is Tessa Asquith Lamb and I'm one of the artists that works on the Gallery Social programme for the National Galleries of Scotland. In my second video today, we're going to be having a go at an art activity that is inspired by the photographs of skating in Edinburgh that we were just looking at. So these are two photographs from about 1880 and one from about 1900 that show lots of Victorians skating on the locks beside Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh. So I was thinking about the beautiful shapes of Victorian boots and how skating boots make such a sort of nice silhouette shape, and that's what we're going to have a go at making today. And you can make these as a card or as a decoration for Christmas, or just as a nice thing to do. So I'm going to tilt the camera down now and then we're going to have a go at making our own little Victorian skate. So I'm back with my materials ready to start my craft activity, and the craft activity we're going to have a go at today is making a little Victorian paper ice skate like this, made of thin card, a little bit of ribbon on it, and this lovely shiny paper for the skate, very much based on the shape of a kind of 19th century boot like this. And this is the kind of skate which might have been worn by the people skating in those lovely photographs that we were looking at by John Patrick. So to make this little skate, you will need some paper and card, scissors and glue, pencils, maybe some string or ribbon, and maybe a hole punch. Now if you've not got a hole punch handy, you could also poke a pencil through into some plasticine or sticky tack to make a hole, or you could just draw on some laces on your boot, but it is fun if you've got a hole punch to punch some holes. So I'll just show you how we're going to make the boot shape. I'll just move these out of the way. So first of all, I've sketched out the shape of this 19th century boot like this, and I've made a template. Once you've got a really good template, then you can use it again and again and make loads of them. So I'm just going to draw around it like this. Right, that. Take that off. So we've got our shape now, ready to cut out. Very satisfying to cut that shape out. I like cutting card, it's very nice, sort of snippy shapes to cut. Right, so we've got our boot first and foremost. So now of course we need to have our skate underneath. So for that I've got this silvery paper and I've drawn out a template of the skate. Now the skate is basically one long shape that curves up at one end, and then it's got these two posts which are what are going to glue onto the boot, so make sure you've got those lining up. I'm going to put that down the bottom so I don't waste too much of my shiny paper. Draw around that. There we go. Ooh, it doesn't move. Right, and I'm going to cut that out. So this is really nice kind of glittery silver paper. If you've not got anything like this, you could always just use kind of a greyish paper, which would probably look more realistic, but because I'm making a kind of Christmassy skate, I've gone all out with the shimmery paper and card. Right, snip, snip, right. So there we've got the two components. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue onto those two posts, which is where it's going to attach to the boot. Stick that down. I might just want to press that for a little moment just to make sure it's stuck. Okay, that pressed down. And now the next thing to think about is how to decorate that shape. I've got some paper here, so maybe I'll make a little toe cap and a heel cap. So I'm just going to snip a little piece like this, and I'm going to put some glue onto the back of it, just a tiny little shape like that. And if I stick that over the toe cap, you might think, oh, that doesn't look very good. But this is a little technique I'll show you. If you turn that over, you can see now where to cut around there, just to cut that extra piece of paper off. So I will just cut round like that. I just trim it a little bit. There we go. So now it's got our little tartan toe cap. And then I think what I would also like is to have a little heel made of the same sort of tartan material. I'm assuming that the person who's got these boots is pretty cool and it's got quite an interesting style. I've got these little tartan touches on their boots. There we go. Like that. And then the rest of the decoration I'm just going to draw on. I'm going to draw a row of stitches around the heel and the toe. And I'm going to draw in some lines just to sort of suggest the darkness and shading of that heel part. And then I'm going to emphasize this line, which is the sole of the boot, and just colour that in a little bit. Like that. There we go. And then I might add a little bit more decoration later. I'm just going to suggest the bit where you put your foot in at the top here. Give that a bit of a sketch and put some more of my drawn stitched lines around like that. So you can see it's pretty much like a boot now. Next we get our hole punch. This is quite good fun. Now you're going to want to just put one side of the hole punch onto the card like this, and then push it all the way in and press down 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then once more at the top. Make sure you push it all the way in and then press it down. So there we've got our holes. Now I could lace it with some twine maybe, or what I thought would be nice would be some of this ribbon like this. So I'm going to poke that through here and take it all the way up to the top like this. Pull it a little bit, make sure I've got enough to tie when I get to the top. Through like this, and then bring this piece through here all the way up. So you can see that I've now got my laces up at the top, and I can tie a little bow just there, let that kind of ribbon dangle down. Just trim it a little bit. There it is. And then I've got another loop of ribbon here that I'm going to just pop through there and then feed back through itself like this, and pull that tight, and that'll make a little ribbon to hang it up with. So the finishing touches, I might just add some little bit of decoration around these shapes that I've hole punched in. So it looks like it's got kind of fancy leather work, and some little lines around here. I wonder if any of you were any good at skating. I was never particularly good at skating. I never could go backwards, which was always something that I thought was very impressive. I might just add a bit of decoration here. But apparently, family history says that my great-grandfather was a great skater, and he was called Henry Buckley, and apparently he skated all the way from Nottingley to Goole down the frozen canals a long time ago. So I've got kind of that in my history, but I've never been particularly good myself. I've just added a few more little extra details, and I'll just show you another one that I've made here, a couple like this. So I'll be back in a moment to show you the finished products and say a few words of goodbye. So I'm back with my finished decorations here. So you can see I've used different coloured papers for these, and slightly different silvery paper on some of them, and ribbons and string for laces. And you can see the ones behind me, you can string them together and make a kind of garland. And they really kind of remind me of the kind of boots that might have been worn in the 19th century by some of those skaters skating on Duddingston Loch or St Margaret's Loch in those brilliant photographs that we looked at earlier by John Patrick. So I hope you'll enjoy making these at home, and I hope you enjoy experimenting with some different materials. Maybe you could try different kinds of papers or different kinds of string and ribbon and different ways of decorating the boots. and you'll see that the same shape each time makes a completely different effect. You could have a dark one with ribbons or strings, or you could try them in really bright colours if you wanted. So really enjoy having a go at making these. So all that's left for me to do is to say I hope you all have a really, really happy Christmas and a happy New Year.